Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is a little bit of a cloudy start to the day, but overall, it's actually not feeling too bad. It's still a little bit on the warm end when it comes to our temperatures. We started out in the 50s this morning, and it's already into the mid 60s. So we're going to be dealing with some warmer conditions today. Eventually, we'll see temperatures top out in the low 80s, maybe even mid 80s in some places. Not really worried about rain for the rest of today. It's pretty much going to remain further off to the north if there is any, but overall it is going to be a little bit breezy at times. We do have a little bit of a southerly wind coming out of the south at 10 miles an hour, and that will actually carry into the overnight hours and into the beginning of your Friday ahead of the storms we're expecting this weekend.
Yeah, we're getting some gradient winds up to 30 to 40 miles an hour expected for your Friday. So it's going to be a pretty gusty day, even ahead of that line of storms. So again, as you are getting ready, just maybe don't wear a hat into your Friday. And if you are wearing a hat, just hold on to it as the day progresses, because it will get very windy. Again, this is not even associated with the storm system, and most of us will be dodging showers and storms into our Friday. But again, you just need to make sure you're being cautious of the wind. If you are traveling along I-20, I-55, maybe I-59, and you need to give those high-profile vehicles just a little bit of extra space as you are going forward into your Friday afternoon.
Yeah, so the beginning of your Friday going to stay relatively quiet, but it is going to be windy, and that's where we see sustained winds up to 20 miles an hour with gusts upwards of 40. But then we turn our attention to Friday afternoon, Friday night, and Saturday, which are both first alert weather days. We've got the potential for more pop-up / discrete severe storms Friday, and then we're looking at more widespread severe weather for your Saturday. And here's how the latest timing is looking like. This is one of our high resolution models. There is a chance for a few isolated showers Friday morning. Not necessarily worried about these being severe, at least at this point. However, we're going to keep a close eye what's expected Friday afternoon into the evening. While these don't look like much, there is that potential that they could break what we call an atmospheric cap. If they're able to break through that cap, the energy will be there in the atmosphere for these storms to become severe, and all modes of severe weather will be possible for your Friday. So this is lasting, I would say, through about 11 p.m. midnight or so Friday before we get a small lull in the storm activity.
Yeah, not really expecting all that much into Friday, but again, we are under that enhanced risk. So if the cells do break through the cap, we could easily see very strong storms. But in reality, Saturday's the day that we're expecting more widespread storms. So don't go canceling any plans for your Friday just quite yet. It's looking to stay more so into the afternoon, evening, and overnight. So could be impactful into your Friday drive home, but more than likely we'll just be seeing a couple pop-up showers and thunderstorms. But again, just make sure you have ways to stay updated into Friday. Saturday, though, that's more than likely the day to be concerned.
Yes. So here's what it's looking like. I would say between midnight and 6 a.m., there's that lull. And then I would say after 6 o'clock in the morning, that's when we'll start to see more stormy weather set in, moving in from the west, especially for areas a little further off to the north and west, at least for the beginning of this event on Saturday morning. Again, all modes of severe weather possible, but it looks to continue to intensify heading into the late morning hours by the lunch hours, anywhere between noon and 2 o'clock. That's where we could really start to see things ramp up. That includes the potential for strong and long track tornadoes. We do have that moderate risk, which is a level 4 out of 5 in place for much of central Mississippi. That energy is going to be there. So there is that potential for strong storms. I would say through about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening before it all moves off to the east into eastern portions of the state, western Alabama. But that's what the time frame is looking like right now. And both models seem to be in an agreement when it comes to that time frame. Of course, this is just one of the first model runs, I would say, with our high resolution models. We'll get a little bit more, hopefully more consistency over the next couple of hours as we get more data and more model runs in. But that's what it's looking like right now. And then just wanted to show you here what the tornadic supercell potential looks like. Again, this is just the energy that's there, not necessarily saying that it's all for sure going to happen, but it is going to be there Friday afternoon into the evening. That's where we were talking about that cap. It's definitely around, but it's a matter of if the storms can break through that cap and tap into that energy that's there Friday afternoon into the evening. So it's still going to be around even in the overnight hours, just a little bit on the lower end. But as you can tell, we start to see those pinks, those purples. That's where we start to get a little bit more concerned on that supercell potential, especially if there's any discrete cells or cells not associated in that main line that can pop up ahead of the line, and tap into that energy there for your Saturday late morning into the early afternoon. So it's definitely still going to be around even into the lunch hour, especially the further east you go. And that's only going to carry into the rest of Saturday afternoon. Eventually, we're done with it by around 5-6 o'clock.
Yeah, thankfully the evening hours on Saturday are looking good. But again, the energy is there. That's really the point that we're trying to hone in and really make sure that you understand that the energy's there. The atmosphere is juiced up and ready to go for these storms. They just have to fire up. So we're really going to be tracking those discrete supercells into the day on Saturday. And it's very important that you are aware that we are going to be tracking that. So make sure you do have multiple ways of staying updated and know your safe space. Today's a good day. We still have a good look ahead. We still have 3 days before we hit Saturday. So today we have the rest of the day, today, Friday, and Saturday. So again, make sure you have multiple ways to stay updated. Know your plan now so that you are prepared for the system as it makes its way into the forecast into much of the day on Saturday.
Yeah, so here's just a little bit of a summary of what the threat likelihood is looking like. Damaging winds and tornadoes are the highest threats with this. Hail is also going to be a threat, especially on Saturday. We could see up to 2 inches size hail. So definitely something to keep in mind if you can find a car park or something to park your car under for this event on Saturday. Definitely recommend doing so. The flash flooding risk is on the lower end, but it's still there, not necessarily as high as the other threats, but just something to keep in mind heading into this week.
Another thing, we talked about carports just now, underpasses. Whenever you are talking about severe weather, if there's a tornado warning, and I know a lot of people usually try to park under
you don't want to be
overpasses.
there.
You do not want to do that, actually. So I know that's a common thought is, oh, I'll park under here, try to get out of the rain and the hail and the tornado, try to find shelter. But to be honest with you, that's not usually the safest bet for most people. So I just wanted to make you aware. Do not try to just stop under the underpass and do not get out of your car. That's one thing that you do not need to do if you are parking under an overpass, that's for sure. But again, just please stay safe, stay weather aware. We are talking about a very good likelihood of seeing severe storms into the day on Saturday, more so Saturday than Friday. But please make sure you have multiple ways to stay updated.
Yeah, and we'll have more throughout the rest of today. Elise and Dave will be on this afternoon for another update. Of course, for our newscast, we'll go also into depth on this throughout the rest of today. And we'll continue to keep you updated on the latest. But until then, have a good rest of your Thursday.